Okay, so are you ready to start a journey of adventure with me? Behind me is a map. It's a map that we're going to take everybody on a journey. And in this journey, like in every story, you've got characters. And this story has got the characters of Rama. Now, Rama is the hero of this story, and he is a monkey. Now, like in every, like we all know, monkeys tend to be mischievous and naughty. And Rama also is a naughty monkey, and he tends to make a few mistakes. But he's a good monkey, and he, owns up to his mistakes. He accepts responsibility, and he takes responsibility of his actions, and he, chooses how he's going to, he takes responsibility of his actions and the impact that his actions have on other people, and the people around him. Now, Rama, he wants to be a good leader, not just a good, but a great leader. And of course, just like in every story, there is a villain. Now, the villain in the story is Lizard. Now, let's say whichever part of the globe you come from, for a moment, just think about, you're walking down the street and you've got two lizards there who are talking and in conversation, and they look at you and they're like, oh, she's coming towards us. Should we walk? Should we run? Should we pounce on her? And you think they're going to have conversations like that? Of course not. So they are just going to look at you coming towards them, and they're going to react and they're going to run. So this lizard in the story is exactly like that. He's constantly reacting to different situations, and he's complaining, and he's always blaming people, and he doesn't want to take any responsibility, and of course he's never to be blamed for anything. Now we've got the third character in the story, and she is lovely Mary. Now, Mary is a calm observer. She is very smart, but Mary, at the same time, does not want to, ruffle the feathers. So she is very mindful of of what she says, because she doesn't want people to react or get upset with her. So she minds every move she makes, because she's constantly thinking, what if I say this, and how is that going to, get other people to react? So Mary's very, very mindful of, her behavior. Now, these are the three characters in our story, and they're going on a journey. Now, this journey is taking them to the scroll of, and in this journey, they first see the scroll of environment. Now, tan tan tan. So, what is the scroll of environment? Okay, wait a minute. I need you to help me a little bit here. Okay, so every time we come across this really exciting part, I just might go with this background music saying tan tan tan. And can I ask you to just play along with me? Because it would just, help us all get into this really fun energy way of. So going back to now the scroll of environment. So let's look at the different environments that we face, right? So to start with, we've got the environment in terms of, let's say, your friends. And you think the way you react to your friends would be exactly the same the way you react to your family members, or would it be exactly the same way you react or you behave rather at work? So the answer is no. So why does that happen? Why do we, in different facets of life, react in different ways or behave in different ways? Now, let's look at the situation where you are in the center of it, right? And you've got all these people around you. Now, the way you behave and the way you act and react to these people around you determines how they will act and react towards you. And then you act and react again towards them. And this entire cycle of behavior that we see is called culture. Now, organization culture, is exactly what we're talking about. Now, great leaders really want to have people, you know, bring out the best in themselves. And as a leader, you do everything that you can to really support your people to bring out the best in them, because when they are successful, that will lead to the organization being successful and the organization meeting all its objectives. So it's really important for the leader, to do that. And now, for a moment, let's just, take a look at. So let's just take a look at, if I ask you a question, have you worked in different organizations, in over your career? And if the answer is yes, let's just for a moment go over that journey of you having worked in different organizations. Think about, have you had, let's say, issues or certain behavior challenges when you've worked in these organizations? And if the answer is yes, for a moment, pause and go to the next organization you worked in, and did you see these behaviors repeat? And if you've seen a pattern of these behaviors repeat in different, situations, then what's the common denominator there? Yeah, the common denominator is you. And well, that's also the good news, because if it is you, then the news is that you are in control of how you react to different situations. And if you just understand your behavior and what causes you to react in that way, you can actually change, or if you modify small ways of your behavior, that can completely change the whole equation for you. And it can get different results, and results that would mean, that would be better for you and the organization. And that would lead to success, not just in, relationships at work, but in every aspect of life. It could be, because when you control your reactions and make those modifications, it could mean better relationships at in your family. It could be the way you deal with your children, your spouse, so it has a huge impact on every aspect of the relationship that you have. So having said that, now let's just coming back to our story, we are going to move along, and as we move along, we're going to get to in the journey get to this point of the information counter. Now, why do we have an information counter? It is simply because we need to know where we're going, and without having that direction, one can feel really lost. So we need to visit the information counter, but we're going to do that in the next video. So in this video, what I want to do now is ask you to do a short exercise, is quickly to think about all the different environments that you are dealing with in your life. It could be, your family, work, friends, any relationship, all those different environments. Can I ask you to list them and rate how, those relationships are, or what's the environment like? Does it bring out the best in you or the worst in you? And if it is at, let's say if it doesn't bring out the best in you, then can you rate that as a 1 being low? And if it brings out the best in you, then why don't you rate it a 5? And when I mean best in you, as in it gets you in the zone, you're in the flow, you're really creative, you can contribute, you're adding value, and you really enjoy being in that environment and that relationship. Okay, so with that, we will end this video, and I am going to see you on the next one. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.